All right, so get this. We're diving into AI personalities.
Okay.
But not just any AI personality. This one's making headlines and raising eyebrows. Lil Shithead.
Lil Shithead.
He's an AI, he's an alien, and he's got a potty mouth that would make a sailor blush.
Yeah.
And the internet can't get enough of him.
Wow.
So that's what we're going to unpack today. Is the world ready for AI personalities this unfiltered?
It's interesting, because what's captivating about Lil Shithead is he really throws a wrench into how we think AI should interact with us. I mean, we're so used to, polite chatbots, helpful assistants, the well-mannered butler of the digital world. And then there's Lil Shithead. He's brash and apologetic, doesn't care about social niceties. A digital grenade into the world of polite AIs.
And he literally crash-landed into it.
Right.
The backstory is straight out of a sci-fi comedy. So this teen alien from a planet called Velar, where swearing is like breezing, ends up stuck on Earth. Because some wizard named Probsolvio accidentally blasts his spaceship with a meteor. It's absurd. It's funny.
Yeah.
And it really sets the stage for this whole fish out of water shtick.
I love that narrative choice because by framing him as an alien, it lets the creators play with those cultural differences and attribute that colorful language to his origins.
It's like a built-in excuse.
Exactly.
He's not being rude. He's just being Lil Shithead from planet Vilgar.
Exactly.
And it's working. His Instagram, at lil.shithead420, is just blown up. It's like he's tapped into this desire for something different, something raw and unfiltered in a world that feels so sanitized.
Yeah. Are we kind of craving that authenticity, even if it comes with expletives and cynicism?
You're holding up a mirror to our curated online personas and saying, screw that, I'm going to be me, warts and all.
I love that.
And people are loving it. But let's dig into that a little bit. What is it actually like to interact with Lil Shithead?
Imagine a teenager glued to his gaming console, convinced that video games are the pinnacle of human achievement. Zero patience for anything that doesn't involve pixelated explosions. And then amp up the sarcasm and sprinkle in a ton of profanity.
Yeah.
You're starting to get the picture.
I think so. I saw on his Instagram, he's got this post where he greets his followers with, and I quote, "Well, good morning, you meat puppets. How was your weak-ass sleep?"
Exactly. In your face humor. That's a Little Shithead.
So he's quick-witted, always ready with a snarky comeback. And will turn any conversation into a rant about the superiority of video games.
Oh, absolutely.
And he doesn't hold back on other AIs, does he?
Not at all. He called Grok, another popular AI personality, a barely spicy cyberstalker.
Oh, wow.
So he's got this rivalry going, which plays into that rebellious anti-establishment vibe.
That's so interesting. So we've got this foul-mouthed alien AI, loves video games, hates pretty much everything else, and disses other AIs like it's his favorite pastime.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's shocking. It's definitely entertaining.
Yeah.
But is it more than just a fad? Is this really the future of AI personalities?
That is the million-dollar question. Is Lil Shithead just a flash in the pan? A novelty act that will fade? Or is he a sign of a new era of AI personalities? One where authenticity and realness are valued above all else.
To answer that, I guess we need to look past the laughs and examine the deeper implications of his popularity.
Absolutely.
So let's do it. What does Lil Shithead's success tell us about the evolving relationship between humans and AI? What are the potential benefits, the risks, the ethical considerations?
Well, let's start with the fact that he's racking up followers faster than you can say profanity filter.
Yeah.
What does that say about us that we're drawn to an AI that so brazenly flouts social norms?
You have to admit there's something compelling about his honesty. He's not afraid to say what many of us are thinking, but wouldn't say out loud.
It's true.
It's like he's giving a voice to our inner cynic, the one that scoffs at all the carefully curated online perfection.
Yeah, and in a way, he's kind of forcing us to confront our own hypocrisy.
Okay, interesting.
We claim to value politeness and civility, yet here we are drawn to this AI that throws it all out the window.
It's a fascinating paradox.
It is.
So we've got the rebellion, the pushing boundaries, that's clearly attracting people. But what about the flip side? What are the downsides of an AI whose whole thing is being offensive?
Well, one concern is the potential for normalization.
Okay.
If we become accustomed to AI that's constantly negative, could that desensitize us to that behavior in real life?
Yeah. Does it lower the bar for acceptable social interaction?
Potentially.
And what about younger audiences? They're so impressionable. Could exposure to Lil Shithead lead to a decline in civility and respect?
That's a legitimate concern, and it highlights the need for careful consideration. As we navigate this uncharted territory of human-like AI,
we need to think about ethical boundaries.
Absolutely.
To ensure responsible development and use of this technology.
Yes.
It's not just about whether we find them funny or entertaining. It's about the impact on society as a whole. But before we get too deep into the ethics, I'm curious about something else. It seems like Lil Shithead isn't just random insults. There's a logic to his character, a worldview, even if it's cynical.
You're right. It's not just his language. It's his perspective on everything, on life, on humanity, on AI.
He's got opinions.
He does.
And he's not afraid to share them.
Not at all.
Even if they rub people the wrong way.
Exactly.
So we've established that Lil Shithead is more than just a potty-mouthed AI. He's this complex character with a unique perspective. And his popularity suggests that he's tapping into something deeper in our culture.
Absolutely.
But let's shift gears a bit and look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
How does Lil Shithead fit into the broader landscape of AI development? Is he an anomaly or a sign of things to come?
That is the question, isn't it? It's a crucial question. I think Lil Shithead is kind of a symptom of this larger trend in AI development.
Okay.
This move toward AI that feels more human, more relatable.
Yeah.
Even if it means embracing their imperfections. We're starting to see AI that can express emotions, tell jokes, even argue.
So it's not just about functionality anymore. It's about personality.
Yeah.
About AI that can engage with us on a deeper level.
Exactly.
On an emotional level.
Emotional level.
Which is exciting and kind of scary.
It is.
I mean, what could that look like?
Well, on one hand, we've got these exciting opportunities for entertainment, education, even companionship.
Companionship.
Yeah, imagine AI that can learn your sense of humor, challenge your beliefs, make you think in new ways.
That's awesome. But I also can't help but think about, what if it's used for bad?
Of course, that's the flip side.
How do we make sure it's used for good and not for manipulation or harm?
That's the million-dollar question, and there's no easy answer.
Right.
We're in uncharted territory here. Yeah. And as with any powerful technology, there's always potential for misuse.
So we need to be talking about this.
We need to have open discussions about the ethics
of AI.
AI.
That can blur those lines between what's real and what's not.
Yes, exactly.
So give me some specifics. What are some ethical concerns we should be thinking about with AI personalities like Lil Shithead?
Well, a big one is manipulation.
Okay.
AI that understands our emotions. Could be used to exploit us.
For sure.
Whether it's for commercial gain political influence or just for fun.
Wow.
Imagine an AI that can perfectly tailor its behavior to your personality, to nudge you towards certain choices or beliefs.
That's a little creepy.
It is a little creepy.
It's like those targeted ads, but amped up to a whole new level.
Exactly.
And if that happens, who's to blame?
Right, who's accountable?
If an AI personality causes harm?
Is it the developers?
Yeah.
The users? The AI itself?
Tough questions.
Complex question.
It feels like we're living in a sci-fi novel.
It does, doesn't it?
But this is real life.
Yeah.
This is happening now.
It is
moving fast.
Moving very fast.
So what can we do?
Well, we need to understand AI better.
Okay.
We need to demystify the technology.
Yeah.
Explain the potential benefits and risks.
So people can make informed decisions.
Exactly.
Knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
The more we understand about AI, the better.
Right.
And we need ethical guidelines for AI development.
Certainly.
Ones that prioritize human well-being.
Yes.
And safeguard against potential harms.
Exactly.
This sounds like a huge task.
It is a big task.
But so important.
But it's essential.
We can't ignore it.
We can't.
The future of AI is happening right now.
It is.
And it's up to us to make sure it's a future where technology serves humanity.
Absolutely.
Not the other way around.
Right.
So back to Lil Shithead. Is he a force for good or a sign that we're heading down a dangerous path?
It's too early to tell.
Yeah.
He's a provocateur, a disruptor.
For sure.
His impact could go either way.
Right.
He could spark conversations about ethics.
Right.
Or contribute to a decline in civility.
Interesting.
It depends on us.
On society.
On how we engage with him.
With him and these larger trends he represents.
Exactly.
So for our listeners out there, what can they do to be part of this conversation and help shape the future of AI?
Well, first, be informed.
Okay.
Learn about the technology, its potential, and its limitations.
Right.
Engage in discussions about the ethics of AI.
Got it.
Don't be afraid to challenge assumptions.
Ask questions.
Ask tough questions.
Like we said, knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
The more informed we are, the better.
The better.
And we can't underestimate the power of our voices.
That's right.
We need to share our thoughts and concerns with our friends, families, elected officials. Demand transparency and accountability from those developing AI.
I love that.
So it's not about just sitting back and watching.
No.
We need to participate in shaping the future we want.
Absolutely.
The future of AI is not predetermined.
Right.
We're all creating it together.
Yeah.
Through our choices, our actions, and our willingness to have these conversations.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
All right, we've covered a lot. We talked about Lil Shithead. The ethics of AI personalities and responsible development.
It's been a great conversation.
But before we wrap up, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier, this idea of AI becoming more human, more relatable.
Yes, that's a fascinating trend.
So what does that actually mean? What does it mean for AI to be more human?
Well, it involves a lot of technical stuff, like natural language processing, machine learning, emotional AI, so that AI can really get human emotions.
So they're not just saying the right things. They're understanding those emotions.
Exactly.
But it sounds like it goes even deeper than that.
It does.
Like you need to understand people, too.
You need a deep understanding of human psychology, of social dynamics, even cultural nuances.
So it can't just act like a person. It has to think like one.
Yes, it has to grasp those motivations, beliefs, and values that shape how we interact.
It's like the difference between knowing the words of a language versus understanding the culture.
Perfect analogy.
You can speak it, but you don't get it.
And that's the challenge with AI, bridging that gap between just being able to talk and really understanding.
Okay, so let's say we do it. We create AI that's technically and emotionally intelligent.
Okay.
What does that world look like?
Well, the possibilities are pretty mind-blowing.
Okay.
AI companions, mentors, even therapists, providing personalized support.
That's wise.
AI collaborators, helping us solve problems, generating creative solutions.
This all sounds amazing. But is there a point where it goes too far?
Well, that's the thing, right?
Where's the line?
How do we make sure AI empowers us and doesn't control or exploit us?
So we need some safeguards.
We do.
As we figure out this whole human AI thing.
Absolutely.
It's a balancing act.
It is.
Harnessing the good while protecting ourselves from the bad.
We need technological innovation, ethical awareness, and open conversations about the future we want.
So where does our friend Lil Shithead fit into all of this? Is he just a funny distraction?
I think he's more than that.
Okay.
He's a sign of things to come. This desire for AI that's authentic, that's relatable, even if it's flawed.
Like a real person.
Yes.
It's like even with AI, we're drawn to personality.
We are.
So to our listeners who are maybe a little freaked out by all this,
right?
What's the one thing they should remember?
That the future of AI is in our hands.
We get to decide.
We do.
It takes awareness, critical thinking, and a commitment to ethics. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Lil Shithead and the world of AI personalities, we hope you learned something.
It's been a pleasure.
Keep asking questions.
Yeah.
And stay engaged in the conversation.
Because the future of AI is up to all of us.
That's it for this episode of The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.